Today's topic is symmetry. We will identify how many lines of symmetry an object has, and we will also write the equation for a line of symmetry. First, let's review our equations of horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal lines on the coordinate plane. The equation of a horizontal line is y equals a number. If you remember Hoy-Vux from Algebra 1, horizontal, zero slope, y equals a number. That helps us out a lot. So we can write the equation of the line graph. It's going to be y equals, and through this whole line, y is equal to -5. So y equals -5 is what we'll put in our answer box. Now, it is really easy to forget Hoy-Vux. It is hard to remember. Horizontal is y equals a number. So here's my trick for when I'm not sure whether to write x equals or y equals. I first find 2 points on the line. Any 2 points. So I have one here at 0, 3. And I'm going to pick another point. Any point on that line. Pick one here at 4, 3. Now you notice we have x, y as all of our ordered pairs. X first, then y. Here, y is 3 in both of these ordered pairs. So, because our second number is the same and the second number is y, our equation is y equals 3. Now, remember, if you're not sure, you can always test your answer in Desmos. Type in your equation in Desmos and see if your line matches. Vertical lines on the coordinate plane. If you remember Hoy-Vux from Algebra 1, HOY, we talked about that a minute ago, and then Vux, vertical, undefined slope, and x equals a number. So the equation of a vertical line is x equals a number. So for number 1 here, we see we have a vertical line, so it'll be x equals. And if we look here, at each of these points, x equals 2. So x equals 2 will be what we'll put in our answer box. Now, again, this can be hard to remember, and if you forget, here's my trick for always finding the equation of a line when you have something that is horizontal or vertical. So we have a vertical line. I'm going to go ahead and put in 2 points. I'm going to find any 2 points here. I have one here at -1, 2. And then I have another one here at -1, 0. If you notice, both of these have -1 first. And because my ordered pair is x, y, x comes first. Number 1, -1 is first in both of these. So x equals -1. For a diagonal line, the equation of a perfectly diagonal line is y equals x. And perfectly diagonal means it goes through 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and on the other side as well, -1, -1, -2, -2, -3, -3, and so on. So, let's try some practice. I want you to try these. Pause the video right here and try these 3 on your own. When you're finished, hit play again and we'll review our answers. Okay, you should have 1, 2, and 3 finished. Let's take a look at what our answers are for these 3. For number 1, we can pick 2 points. I have one here at 1, 2, and another point at 1, 0. And on these, both of the x values of my coordinate is 1. So I know that my answer is going to be x equals 1. If you remember Hoy-Vux, vertical, x equals a number, that would make it a little faster for us here. But if not, we fall back on our extra trick of finding our 2 points and see what number is the same. Number 2, we have a perfectly diagonal line, which we see from here above. Y equals x is our equation. Y equals 1 would be a horizontal line. X equals 1 would be a vertical line. And then we haven't looked at anything with y equals x plus 1, so we know we're not going to pick that. All right. And the last one, if we remember Hoy Vux, it's horizontal, y equals a number. That saves us a little time. If not, that's okay. We'll just go back to our trick of putting 2 points on the line. I have one here at 0, 1, and another at 3, 1. My second digit in the ordered pair, my y value, is the same for both of these ordered pairs. And so y equals 1 will be my answer. Now, for line symmetry means you have the same thing or figure on both sides of a line of symmetry. So half of the object is a mirror image of the other half. So, for example here, this bus has reflectional symmetry, which is another word for line symmetry. This shape here does not have reflectional symmetry. If I cut it in half this way, then it's still not a mirror image. I can cut it in half any direction and I won't have a mirror image on the other half. So there is no symmetry in this figure. Figures can have horizontal and or vertical reflectional symmetry, or they could have both horizontal and vertical reflectional symmetry. So when we're practicing problems with symmetry, we've got two strategies. For number one, we're going to look at our first strategy, which is to cut the shape in half and to figure out what the line is. So for number one, I'm going to cut this heart in half. Now, if I try to cut it this way, that doesn't work. I have to cut across this way. So when I draw that line, that cuts the figure in half. I see it is symmetric on both sides, and that line is over my x-axis, or the line y equals 0. So y equals 0 only is going to be my answer. Remember, right at the very beginning of this problem, we said that if we cut it this way, that's not in half, so x equals 0 would not be an answer choice. For number two, let's try our second strategy. Our second strategy is to test out our answer choices. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw a line for a at y equals 2. And I see that doesn't cut the shape in half. So that does not work. I'm going to mark out that answer choice, and we're going to move on to the next one. Answer choice B, x equals 2. So let's draw a line at x equals 2. There's a vertical line here. I see it's not in the middle. It does not cut it in half. So that doesn't work. We'll mark out B and move on to answer choice C. Y equals 3. That's a horizontal line where y is 3. And I see that doesn't even go through the figure. Not an answer. So we're going to mark that one out and move on to D. We're going to try x equals 3. It's a vertical line. This one cuts the shape right in half, and that works perfectly. It is symmetric on both sides. That is our answer. So those are our two strategies that we can use. Whichever you feel most comfortable with is the one you should do. Number 3, for which polygon is the line y equals x a line of symmetry? We can draw the line y equals x, our perfect diagonal, on all 4 of our answer choices. And if I look at these pictures, the only one that cuts in half is answer choice A. And our last example today, one of the lines of symmetry for the hexagon goes through, and we have a list of points. For these, I would strongly suggest to go ahead and try them out. So it looks like here we'll have several lines of symmetry. We could cut in half this way, or this way, and perhaps that way. So it looks like it could have more than one. This is where we're going to try each one. So I'm going to plot my points. Answer choice A says -2, 7, and 2, -2. And I'm going to connect those two. It looks close to symmetric, but look here. We've got that little portion here that does not look like that is symmetric. So we're going to label this as answer choice A. We're going to try the next one. B, -2, -2, and 2, 7. Connect my dots and label it as answer choice B. If we look again, it looks like there's that little corner that makes it not quite symmetric right there. So let's move on and try C. negative 4, 3, and 4, 3, line through, and if you look, answer choice C cuts the figure exactly in half. It is symmetric on top and the bottom, so answer choice C would be the one we would choose. All right, that's it for symmetry today. Thanks, guys.